Y-A-J.
Y-A-J.
Y-A-J. Y-A-J. It's the Y-A-J show. It's the Y-A-J.
Welcome to Y-A-J. Welcome to Y-A-J.
What's up, spiritual brothers and sisters? On February 2nd, 2020, Veronica Rose was sick. Antonio Bradley, I think he had a Cronulla. Yeah, he got a virus. He'll be back soon. But guys, I want to start the show again. Remember, Kobe Bryant was California's hero. So let California enjoy their hero. They finally buried him this week because that this young man who passed away and was about to do great things. Most of us who understand celebrity and who understand, like, when a military officer dies, I don't go bashing, slamming anything. I just say, hey, man, this woman got the news in a messed up way. And that woman, because remember, whether you like Kobe Bryant or not, she lost two people in one day. And she lost her middle child. So let's always remember that. And guys, I really, truly cannot believe this truly happened this week. Delegate Chris Hunt in Christiansburg, Virginia, and we've done some delivering down there, was stopped for a DUI. You can look it up. And now they're saying that they might put into law that no delegate will be immune from that type of prosecution, which they should, because you cannot keep on crying about drinking and driving and then they get off. What messages are you sending? Your delegates, male or female, cannot no longer drink and drive, no longer can sleep with prostitutes. If you do, you go to jail like everybody else. Robert Kraft should have went to jail, just like a normal man. I don't care how much money you got. Look, guys, when are these wealthy, powerful people going to be held responsible for their actions? You cannot keep on saying about Colin Kaepernick kneeling for the flag when your powerful people now keeps getting out of stuff. That's not fair. That's not right. And then they have the audacity to blackball this man. I'm not talking about afterwards. I'm talking about the whole reason why this man kneeled. I'm talking about the whole reason why people actually stand up for what is right. Look, because I'm going to tie this all in for you in a nice, complete bow. This man was drinking and driving. And the way they talked to this man, they talked to him like he was drinking water. And then you let the passenger drive his car. When I was to go outside right now, and I was to take a cup of liquor and drink it right now and start walking outside, that's called a DWI, driving while intoxicated, because that's initially what they're going to give me because I don't have a car. But I'm still I'm under the influence, so they're going to give me something. Not driving while intoxicated. When you're outside, you just public intoxication. There we go. But what I'm trying to say is this. You go to a bar, you enjoying yourselves, you have one beer, or you have whatever, a shot, and an officer watches you. He goes outside, he follows you, pulls you, and they administer the breathalyzer test and all the other stuff that goes with it. You get charged. See where I'm going with this? You get charged. And believe me, my dad had a DUI and it cost him almost 20 grand by the time it was all said and done. Breathalyzer test on the steering wheel column, everything. 20 grand. Maryland, Prince George's County, William Green was the man that was shot by an officer. Handcuffed. Seat belted in. He was shot. I want to say 7 times. I'm not for sure, but believe me, he was hit. He was dead. And they said that, quote unquote, you can look up the story yourself. They said, quote unquote, he smelled like he was on PCP and maybe under the influence. Last time I checked, I never smelled PCP before. But they also said in the story, if you read it, he was cooperating with the officer. Where was the backup? Any other time, they call for an extra officer if a tail light is out. So where was his backup? I'm not getting in depth with that because I don't know what their procedures and protocols are. But what I'm saying is, it's kind of funny that if anybody, I've been cuffed. Anybody who's been cuffed as a male, understand some of us have bellies. Not too many of us actually try to break free of the handcuffs because in fear of that we might get shot. What I'm trying to tell you is this. Watch how I tie this all in. When the officer arrested this guy, was waiting for a drug screen, they said there was a struggle in the car. So he shot him. Now, watch this. And I'm simulating being cuffed. If I'm in the police car, whether I'm in the front or the back, regardless, doesn't matter which way. If anybody's ever been in a police car, they know a police car is not that big because they got all their equipment, they got the computers, they got their guns. So I'm sitting in a police car and I'm strapped in. Where exactly do you think I'm going to go? Huh? Where do you think I'm going to go? Where am I struggling with? We're not females. Females have the ability to, we're not saying that males cannot get out. We're saying that most males can, especially if you have a belly like I do, ain't much struggling to it. I'm sitting still because what I'm trying to tell you is this. Amber Geiger claims she made a mistake and went to someone's apartment and shot him to death. Yeah, she got 10 years, but she was able to post bond. The officer who shot this guy in Prince William County was a black officer, and he was unable to get bond. The judge said he was a threat to society, and Amber Geiger wasn't. If you walked into the wrong house, how do I know you ain't gonna shoot somebody else the next night? How was she not a threat to society? Another thing I want to say, Minnesota, Castile, where his officer shot him multiple times after asking him to show the gun and his permit. The black officer who shot through the window while he was on duty, who killed the white lady officer, got time and arrested. They didn't say the other officer who shot Castile what happened to him, but I'm pretty sure he was not in jail. I hope you're starting to see where I'm going with this. Texas. The white officer who shot this black woman in her home from the backyard when her and her nephew was playing video games. Supposed to be for a welfare check. He was able to post bond. Haven't really heard too much more about the story. You starting to follow where I'm going with this? California, same thing. Except I don't think mostly in California, none of their officers go to jail for anything. I'm not here to bash officers. God knows we know there are good officers out there. We know that. There are great officers out there. But y'all need to start looking at these spoiled bunches. Because what's happening is a police officer is supposed to protect the community. How are we starting to feel protected? When an officer, like what happened in Norfolk, was dragged behind a car, everybody want to post something on, oh, she was this, oh, she was that. Here was a black man in a police car, handcuffed, strapped in a seatbelt. Not a word. Not a word. Before I go, I want everybody to understand something. I advocate for those because remember, I am a black man who came from a small town in Virginia. I seen the worst of the worst in a small town. Curfew, martial law. And believe me when I tell you, just because they don't show that white people get brutalized just as much as blacks and Hispanics, they do. Hell, white women get raped more than anything. What I'm trying to tell you is this. Stop picking and choosing who you support. Because one day, your child could be in that same police unit, in that car, handcuffed, with the seatbelt on, and some officer decide to take his life. And when you don't get no answers and you want to go to Facebook, you want to go on Dateline, you want to go on TV news or and plead your case, what happened, and you don't get no answers, then you understand how these other families feel. Play me out, man. I thank y'all for tuning in, man. I'm by far, like I said.
YAJ effect.
Thank y'all for tuning in. What's that?
YAJ.
Lawrence, Derek, Chris. Hey, Ma. Dennis, Kimberly, Amanda, and Zanetta. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Y'all gotta wake up. Y'all gotta wake up. Because I'm telling you, if one of these officers take your children, you'll understand why I'm doing this. It is not fair that people get out of these heinous crimes